All right, so am I supposed to change this? Is that what's happening here?
And it goes to the right?
Oh yeah, that's me. All right, so you all know the song, right? You're gonna help me sing it. Ready? And it's all I need is the first part, the long and winding road. The long and winding road. You gonna sing it with me? Try. Okay, good. The long and winding road that leads me right here. I'm not gonna sing my whole story, so please don't have that fear. I'll do it all in 18 minutes. 8 minutes. And then we'll have a beer. Right? So, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure why I was asked to be included with all these amazing scholars. How about a hand for them and the research? But let's roll the clock back, because I'm an alumnus, right? I'm an alumnus, and so we're going to roll the clock back a little bit and a little bit more, and we'll keep rolling it back to 1972. In 1972, we'll see how the long and winding road got me from what was then the Graduate School of Education to what is now Gevirtz. And by way of early childhood education, the business world, and philanthropy. So 1972, I had no particular career in mind. I wound up at the Teacher Corps for a master's program in their College of Education. So there I was in 1972. What do you think? I don't even look like Larry David in that picture. I don't know. So we started out in 1972, and in the second year, we had some people come and visit us from different colleges. One was from Michigan State, and there were two people who knew the professor who was running our program there. Two people who came out to teach a summer session, 1 week each, and those people were Ray Hosford and Jules Zimmer. That very Jules Zimmer that's sitting right over there. 46 years ago, Jules, right? It's been a while. And I don't know what happened. I mean, counseling was my major because I thought teaching was going to be too difficult. So I figured I'll get into counseling. And these guys came out, and they must have been desperate for graduate students. Because the next thing I knew, I was getting invitations not only to Michigan State, but also to come out here to UCSB. And I'd never been anywhere, really west of probably Columbus, Ohio, when during that trip I went to see Michigan State. You ever see the place? And it was December, and it's like I was in this guy's basement office, and there's tumbleweeds rolling across. So then I saw a picture of UCSB, and I said, I want to go there, right? And so in 1973, I wound up here at UCSB, and although most doctoral students stay longer, I think what happened is in that 3-year period, the people on my committee decided that they really needed to make some room and get some real students in there, and that probably I wasn't going to do a whole lot of harm. So 1976, at the age of 26 years old, almost 27, I was out and wasn't exactly sure what to do, and there weren't a lot of jobs here. I think they decided, let's just make room, get this guy out of here. I wound up going to Maine, and I wound up teaching at the University of Maine for 3 years in early childhood and counseling. So the skills that I got at Gevirtz, which I suspect most of you, or many of you at least, have some connection there, really paid off. And here I am teaching, 76. I thought I was going to be there forever. I really did. My wife, however, is a 7th generation Californian. And after the third winter, she said, I'm leaving with, by the way, our 1-year-old child by then. I'm leaving. I hope you'll come with me. And so in 1979, when we were married in 76, by the way, in 1979, another wind in the road, right? And Sheila and Amy and I moved back to Santa Barbara, where I became the director of early childhood programs for the county schools office. Another introduction by Dr. Zimmer over here. And then there was another wind in the road. So I was there from 79 until 83. In 1982, this thing called Apple Computer, you've heard of it, right? It came out on the market, 82, 83, and I was fascinated by it. And I was looking at how can we use that computer to help run the business that we were running, basically this early childhood program, the business end of it. And that led me into thinking about educational software. So again, this winding road now from Gevirtz to Maine and teaching, and now maybe something else. So I started my own business in 1983 called Santa Barbara Softworks. And we produced about 7 or 8 educational software programs, mostly for elementary age, but there was one program some of you may have heard of called Algeblaster, and that was for high school age students. And two of our programs actually were in the top 10 in the country for a while. So, it was a successful company, but I'll tell you by 1990 that business had changed so much. And those counseling skills weren't doing me a whole lot of good keeping up with the computer industry. Guy next to me said, you ought to take a look at this company called Yardi. And I don't know how many of you have heard of the company, Yardi? Oh, really? Seriously? Okay. Ooh. Well, I think that's a good ooh, right? That's a good thing. So Yardi today has about, when I started, we had 25 people. Today we have in Santa Barbara 750. Worldwide, we have 7,500 in 40 offices, 13 different countries. And I've been there now about 29, it'll be 29 years in March. And what does Yardi do? Yardi produces software for real estate property managers. So you got to wonder, what does this have to do with these skills? The thing that I've been able to do at Yardi that touches my heart is get involved in philanthropy in a big way. And one of the big projects that we're working on at Yardi is an education program. A lot of our clients run public housing and affordable housing agencies. And these are kids whose education skill levels tend to be a little bit lower than the general population. So we actually identified a program here in Santa Barbara through People's Self-Help Housing, which we think is a pretty darn good program. And their results are showing that they can get kids to grade level 3 by 3rd grade. And this, as you know, is an important milestone. So working with People's Self-Help Housing through Yardi, we're trying to take that program out to other agencies. But before we do, what we're trying to establish through Gevirtz, and Matt Quirk is working with us on this, is does this program really do what it says it's doing, right? So we want to verify and validate the statistics that they've come up with, and this will be an ongoing project now for the next year, and if in fact it works, then we hope to roll this program out to other agencies nationwide. And so just in wrap-up, that 8 minutes goes fast, doesn't it? That wrap-up is, these skills that you learn through Gevirtz, these counseling skills, these education skills, learning about early childhood are so transferable into many, many pieces of your life, many, many places of your life. And I think I've been extremely fortunate to be able to carry those skills that I learned here starting back in the 70s and bring it up to where the long and winding road leads me to your door. Thank you.